Guys. This past week's episode of Paradise. Welcome back to another review. And today, back with Putting You On. So you'll know last week, Bonolo gave you a brief synopsis of like what Paradise is about, which is essentially about the world ending. And so what the US government ends up doing with the help of a few billionaires, specifically one that's important to the story called Sinatra, is they build an underground city. And the city can only house 35,000 people. And so while the rest of the world is burning, they literally have built this city. So in this past week's episode, what we are exploring is how the evacuation happened when the world was coming to an end, and the decisions that needed to be made around who would make it into going into the underground. So obviously the president is first priority, and second to that is all of his personnel and people in his cabinet. And what you end up seeing is how they then need to make a decision, right? And so what first initially happens is the president is written a speech by his team, and his advisors advise him to not tell US citizens that this is what is happening currently. He has a change of conscience. He sees one of his staffers who cleans in the White House and has been in the White House for generations, like has seen multiple presidents through. And this staffer says to him, as the president says to him, I think you should be with your family and prepare your family. We're not going to see this one through. And as they're about to evacuate the president after he has given his speech, he literally turns back. And against the advice of his advisors, he goes and he literally tells the entire US and his staff in the White House that the world is coming to an end, and they're going to need to make a decision where they want to be right now with their families. And immediately after that, he is escorted out by security. And at this point, all staff is completely shocked at the fact that this is happening, and he is being evacuated, and he's leaving behind people who are on his campaign trail. Oh, there's just so many themes around this, right? Who is more privileged to be chosen versus who isn't? Even some of his Secret Service was left behind, and you could see how people were starting to get violent and wanting to attack his plane, wanting to attack him. Themes around capitalism, privilege, power of the few, and how when this is happening, he needs to literally has left these people behind, right? And with no plan, and only 35,000 people can live underground. And it's so heart-wrenching. It really is an important part of the series, because you can see once they're in the underground world, like in the underground city, how the president drinks a lot. He's become an alcoholic, and how he is guilt-ridden by the fact that this needed to happen. And Sinatra is holding all the cards, literally all the cards. And and what was that ending? So obviously now Xavier and a few people in the Secret Service have gone rogue to take over the city, because they've found out and realized that these billionaires are literally controlling people with no goodness or no good intentions. And just as Xavier was about to take in Sinatra, she throws a span in the works and she says to him that his wife is alive. There is life above ground. And on top of that, his daughter has been captured by someone on her side of the camp. And so he's literally left despondent. Like, he has no choice but not to shoot her or arrest her, and she literally orders him to return the weapons that they stole and also to restore the city to order. And it's just, but anyways, I think this is a good series. You need to watch it. It's mind-blowing, the themes that we are exploring here. And yeah,